I'm Spencer.
I'm Rosie.
I'm JD.
This is the Itch Network, and we just saw the announcement trailer
For a few games, but the only one that got us really hyped.
The Last of Us
Part 2.
Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2. Alright, so JD, what happened?
So, we have a couple scenic, foresty, scenes happening. I knew from then that it was Last of Us.
He actually did.
And then,
Called it immediately.
and then it pans out and it shows a stop sign, I believe a stop sign that has the Firefly logo on it.
Yeah.
Which is a faction in Last of Us. And then it skips and it shows some bloodied knuckles, looks like, and a person that's like shaking at first and then like sort of like calming down. And then we kind of get to a little bit of tuning with the guitar, which this person is getting ready to play. And then a little bit of blood dripping, and then it pans up a little bit. And you can, if you played Last of Us, you can kind of pick up on who it is. Obviously, you can tell there's a little scar by the eyebrow. You can tell kind of the little bit of freckles going on there. It's Ellie. It's an older Ellie. Playing the guitar, singing, freaking serenading all the men and women in the showroom floor.
That are dead on that floor.
Yeah, and then
there's a bunch of dead bodies.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of dead bodies, and it's sort of like in a house or whatever. And we're just kind of like, okay, what's going on here? You know, obviously there was a fight because she's bloodied and still shaking.
Not only that, if I could bring something up, it looked like she got bit in her neck. So I was thinking it was one of the
Bit or cut or something. Yeah,
it looked like a bite mark because it was like right here, and it looked like like a.
It looked like she was like
circular,
crying blood.
Well, it was from her head.
From her head.
It was from her head. But at the time, it looked like she was crying blood. Anyone who's played Last of Us and died as Ellie knows that if she gets bit by something, her eyes will sort of like, she cries blood essentially, which is really just
gross.
Yeah, it's probably not how she actually dies because she can't get infected. So she probably just gets munched on a little bit and then
little munch.
Blood loss.
But
in this particular case, she's singing and we're getting a couple scenic views, and then out in the distance, a figure approaches. A man of sorts. Grizzled, probably from
holding
Texas.
a revolver.
Probably sells hardcore drugs. Walking close there, holding a revolver, yes.
I thought it was Ocelot.
It could have been Ocelot, but wrong franchise. Turns out it's Joel. As he's walking through the area, it's like kind of pans down, shows his feet, and you can kind of see dead bodies and stuff like that. Infected or not, we'd have to double check. Definitely dead.
Pretty soon you see the beard.
Pretty soon you see the beard and you just know.
Yeah.
This man doesn't shave. No shave November lasts all year for this gentleman. So then as we kind of progress and we get to the, when he encounters Ellie, he goes, in his gruff voice, Ellie, what are you doing?
Did he
or he's like, what are you planning to do?
Did he look a lot older? He didn't seem like it was that.
So I think, honestly speaking, it's probably like 5 years.
And not only that,
it's not that far ahead.
The shadowing kind of helped figure out how old Joel was in that shot. So.
Jill?
Oh, sorry.
Joel McHale.
Don't open that door.
But yeah, he talked to her and he's like, "You sure you want to go through with this?"
And
And she said, like, what did she say?
She said, "I'm gonna kill every last one of them." So we don't know who that is. It's obviously some sort of faction in its own right. Could be the Fireflies. Maybe it's not. Where we left the previous Last of Us, they were in a pretty good spot. So that might have to do with what happens at the beginning of this one. But the only problem is there's Joel has some connection to that spot as well, based off of the relationships that he has over there.
Yeah.
So in that particular instance, is it really them who are?
That's a good question.
Hurt by that?
There's just a lot about that scene. The fact that she's like, her knuckles are bloodied up is like, is she gonna be a lot more grittier and physical now?
I think so. Ellie had to have been like 12, 10 in the first one.
Yeah.
What do you think? She's that young?
I don't think she's 8.
I think she's at least 13.
Okay, 13. So
at least.
Okay, so 13, right? She's old enough to get to like girls. To kind of to get to the
We've
point,
all been at that age.
Yeah, and to get to the point where she's like, you know what, I'm just gonna start cursing all the time. So she's in the rebellious phase, 13, 14. If we're doing a 5 years ahead thing, 19, 18. And if we're getting there, she's old enough to be physical, to where she can kind of have that sort of. She's probably still gonna play the role of like if. Remember, what's her name? In the first Last of Us, she gets bit in the beginning.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name. And
Texas? Or,
No. Tess.
Tess.
So Tess. Tess wasn't exactly this brute force girl either. She was kind of like, it was a finesse thing. So she might be more following that route. So she might, in the sense of, you might still play as both of them. But if you're playing as both of them, Joel is obviously brute forcing. She might have a bladed weapon on her. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So she might still have that knife. That knife does have significance to her. Why not? But
you think probably she's trying to kill the Firefly? Like, I
I don't know. We don't know who she's trying to kill.
Logically, that's the only one that makes sense unless they introduce some new.
And not to mention
Because she's not gonna be like, I'm gonna kill all of them. Like, the zombies that we killed like a million.
and not only that,
or the infected.
It could be though. It could be.
Maybe like they got smart or something.
Maybe.
But not only that, the thing about it is that they showed literally a firefly emblem.
So
but I think
it was the fireflies that were attacked then, right?
Yeah,
But I assumed the
be
Firefly
that.
thing was supposed to clue us in that it was.
Well,
I mean, you never know.
Yeah,
It's all
they
speculation.
don't need to do that. It's just, all they could have done was the guitar thing, like we thought, like just put
the
their
guitar.
hand out. But I think they wanted to put that shot there to show, like, A, that it's Last of Us, and B, they're here. You
Yeah,
know
they're
what
in the story. They're part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe they introduce a totally new faction or group of people or something.
I mean, there could be, but we also have to understand at that point they have to do a little bit of backwriting. Why did we never see these guys? Understand, The Last of Us, the first game, is us going through all of the United States.
Yeah.
So we had to have at least seen some inkling of these people.
Mm.
In this particular case, I want to say we're still East Coast, or a Midwest to East Coast. There's no desert, obviously. That's probably going to be part of it.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be cool. I could get down with that. Having that as a survival factor.
It seems
Be the Resident Evil 5.
It seems like
that it should have been.
I forgot the name of the zombies, what they called them in that game already. But it seemed like it'd be kind of weird for the zombies, essentially.
It's called infected, right?
Infected.
I think it's
Infected, okay.
Could be wrong.
The infected to be in the desert because they were pretty kind of plant-based, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
Cordyceps is plant-based.
Well, maybe they go to South America or something.
Or maybe, we don't even know if anywhere else is infected. We just know America is.
That's true.
It's the same thing as 28 Days Later, where they're like, oh, America's still safe. It's just the United Kingdom that's fucked. So.
But I am pumped. I think we're all pumped.
Yeah.
It didn't even say when it's coming. Did it?
No, it probably won't be out until like early 2018. I would assume we're all friends still by then. But
I'm not sure about this one, but I'm pretty sure
this is going.
we're going.
This is going.
We're going places.
This will go on.
Hey, so
I'm Rosie.
No, hold on, we're not done yet.
Oh.
So we were going to
done.
do this initially
done.
beforehand. Some of you guys have been noticing we haven't been able to stream entirely. Just a couple of errors on our end. So we're going to skip a few games and jump forward to another Why I Love series. Last of Us.
Last of Us.
Last of Us.
That'll probably start next week.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. We'll talk about it. Brush up on the lore so we can kind of go over a couple things. And then also just the gameplay aspect of it. The game's
Amazing.
The game's amazing, and kind of it's a character study for sure. But we'll be starting that next week, so tune into that. It's gonna be start streaming at 8 o'clock sharp. So I'll try and be here early.
I'll try to have the things
Are we?
at work.
Should I bring mine or
Bring yours.
Bring
we'll
mine.
try it.
Okay, I'll reinstall them.
Cool.
But yeah, so look forward to that. I want to see what they do with the multiplayer too. 'Cause the Last of Us multiplayer is probably the best multiplayer I played in a while. Reminded me of old school years. Yeah, everything's on the line. One guy can make the difference if he's resourceful. That's cool.
Cool. All right. What do you guys think of the trailer? Maybe I'll have it playing on the corner or something while we do it. No volume. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, what do you guys think of it? I'm Spencer.
I'm Rosie.
JD.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.